Oh, I told you I was going to be on a roll today. I probably have to stagger these out over the week. Lordy. Lordy. So, what? What are we doing? Oh, fuck. I done forgot what I was going to talk about. Oh, I know. The insanity this summer. So, my son goes on a senior trip. He graduated this year. And I went with him. Probably the worst thing I could have done for my sanity is dealing with crazy people. Because I don't play nice with crazy people because I will not entertain their delusion. I don't entertain delusions because all it does is force you to live in a delusion, which is not reality, and that's just not me. I like truth, and I like being in reality. It's nice here. Everybody's sane. So this nut, whose excuse to me was she had a really bad childhood, and those of you who know me, you know my childhood, so it's like, I don't give two shits about your childhood. I've got one up on you. Bitch tried to kill me. You ain't got nothing on me. She had a bad childhood, and that didn't impress me, so then it was kind of like, oh. And I'm not like, it's more like, oh, wow, that's hard. And then that go on. I didn't entertain it. And then the adoption, and then, her husband's really bad, and then Hunter's really bad. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say names. The kid's really bad. Her child was really bad. I mean, everything's really bad. And it's kind of like, well, a lot of this stuff seems to be, it's got to be your fault because you raised half these people. And now their behavior is pretty much the mirror of what you raised. If you raised an unstable person, they're going to be an unstable person, and they're not going to make your life easy. As my husband and I get into that a lot about raising children. It's like, I'm trying to raise a stable person because I don't want her at 30 living with us. Yeah. So I didn't get any brownie points though. And then every time she brought some woke thing up, I didn't indulge it. I would sit there. One of the things was, men pretending to be women. Or she didn't use the word pretend. I said, I am not going to entertain someone's delusion. If you want to go around telling everybody you're a girl, don't ask me to participate in your delusion. I'm going to call you for what I see. You can't wear a dress, have a goatee, and one of them wife beater shirts, and tell me that, call me her. Well, you know what? Call me beautiful and the most smartest person you know. Don't want to entertain that. Well, that did not gain brownie points with this particular person, who it just escalated from there. And then it went from, I can't get myself to entertain her delusion. So then she went into, how can I control the situation in every way possible? So Gabe, my son, was done at the water park. This is pretty much where it completely started the breakdown. I was like, well, I was going to go and just leave them alone. I was going to go on a walk because it was the Opryland Hotel, and it's a huge place. They've got massive indoor gardens where it is so big they've actually built houses in the old style to have like a little village, and they've got different environments. There's like, the one is just a garden, there's a restaurant, there's another one that's like an island in the middle of some water. It's just with fish in it. I mean, it's massive and it's beautiful. I was like, well, I don't get to come here. This is the one time that I'll probably ever be there. I wanted to go look. I told Gabe that's what I was going to do, and if he wanted to come with me, he could. Well, his friends sit there and heard that, and he's like, well, I want to go. I was like, well, more merrier. We'll go and we'll walk and go see this hotel. And we didn't even get to see them. There's like 4 sections. We only saw 2. I was like, oh, it was beautiful. Well, Crazy is mad because the kids want to leave the water park. And they want to go with me. Well, I want you to play with me. I came here. Why would we sit there and spend this money and then you aren't going to hang out with me? And I'm sitting there thinking, well, this is just between crazy and her kid. Because as far as I'm concerned, you ain't gonna make me stay with you to entertain you in the damn water park. Gabe and I are gonna go walk. We are gonna go see this damn hotel. Well, she got nasty. Decided that, well, if we have to leave, then we have to leave. Now, mind you, we got pizza at this place. And there's one thing you don't take from me is my fucking food. And she snatched my pizza. I was like, that's it. I've had enough. That was the end of it. And I pretty much, it was calm, but it was, I would say, the more demanding tone. Look, you don't get to do that. You want to behave that way and you're going to pout, you do it over there. You don't do it here, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, and I told her she was pouting many, many times, and she doesn't get to sit there and behave that way to everyone else, blah, 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 because I'd had enough. Well, she stormed off. Now she's going to cry, blah, blah, blah. This went on for days of behaving this way. Just days. Like, what the fuck? So, one of the days, the kid is in the living room, and they had gone to the doctor because the other one's sick, who refuses to stand up and say nay to anything. And I didn't say anything to her. The one that refuses to say nay to anything comes to me. They don't talk to me at all, by the way. That no conversations at all. I've completely have been cut off. Not, how are you doing? What do you think? Or why is this behaving? Or anything like that. Just cut me off. And then just assume whatever they come up with in their head is truth. I was like, what the fuck? So they sit there, they go to the doctor, they come back, and then it was like, we need to figure out a way. This is the one that doesn't want to get involved. So that we can just have a good trip for the boys. We need to, get along for the boys. I was like, all right, fine. Apparently you two are against me completely. That's fine. By the way, the kids sit there and was watching this whole fiasco from afar, and they thought that I had no idea what was going on because I didn't act like an asshole. I just acted like everything was normal. The two that were acting up were those two. And so my son comes to me in concern as he was volunteered by the group. Mom, do you know what they're saying about you? Honey, I know. Oh, I know. I'm so glad that, it reflects well on me because you had no idea. The kid that lives with me and knows his mama had no idea that I actually knew what was going on. I know. I'm just trying to get through this trip. But anyway, so we go back to the morning. You're talking about me to the boys, and you're telling Hunter, blah, blah, blah. I ain't said shit to that kid. I ain't said shit to him other than to be nice to you. That's what. So what do you got? I was so mad. Oh, I was mad. What do you got? Is that all you got? Because I ain't said shit. The only person I'm talking to is my husband, and I'm definitely talking to him. And I told them about they didn't even know. And that what my son had to come and tell me because he thought. I said, that's how much they thought I was uninvolved. All they see is how your behavior is reflecting. Well, it's kind of hard to argue with someone who won't back down. And won't back down and play with their delusion. Or, you don't understand, I've had a hard life. Or, I thought you said this. Or, you said it and this is what I took it as. None of that bullshit. I do not give two shits about any of the, what do you call it? Leaps and bounds that they try to do with these mental acrobatics to turn it around. Because I'm throwing it right back at you and I'm throwing it at you hard. Because I've had enough of dealing with crazy. And I really suggest you people out there, as scary as it is, tell them to fuck off.